Our next speaker is a journalist and filmmaker. You may have seen her in a Sky News interview talking about the Amazon Sky packages. So please give a warm welcome to Myriam François.
Hi, assalamu alaikum everyone. Thank you so much for being here. I'm speaking to you today as someone who, like many of you, no doubt, never imagined that we'd have to be here almost a year on. Through the seasons, both weather and life's changes, you've continued to show up as the moral conscience of this country, which has drifted so far from any ideals we might hope that it might represent. So the first thing I want to do today is thank you. I want to say thank you to each and every one of you for continuing to be here, continuing to show up, continuing to be that conscience. Like many of you, I never imagined that we could see such gross and blatant violations of international law without any real repercussions. I never imagined that we could see children daily blown to pieces or shot by snipers, and that some of our compatriots would continue to try and defend these horrors. I never imagined that I would see journalists and health workers killed in record numbers and with such impunity and with such silence from our colleagues. Where are our colleagues? I never thought that I would see a prosecutor for the ICC publicly denounce death threats made against him, which seemingly impede him from issuing warrants for the arrest of the war criminals Netanyahu and Gallant. And I definitely never imagined that those conscientious objectors speaking out about these atrocities would be harassed and arrested under terrorism laws here in this country. I never imagined 11 months ago that the latest ethnic cleansing of Gaza would be the precursor to the clear attempt today to annex the West Bank. The ethnic cleansing of Palestine, ongoing since 1948, has never been clearer. I never imagined we could see Palestinian men, women, and children detained, tortured, raped, and killed in Israeli custody, and that many would stay silent as thousands languish in torture camps as we speak. I could not have fathomed that we would see US citizens shot in the head by Israeli snipers, and that even then the US administration would prevaricate. I never imagined that speaking up against a genocide could see you targeted, harassed, and demonized. But here we are. The Palestine liberation struggle continues to reveal to each and every one of us how connected our struggle for freedom truly is, by unmasking the charade of the systems we have been lulled into accepting. Today we gather not just to speak, but to act with the full force of history, with the strength of the freedom fighters who have preceded us, and with the fire of a people demanding justice. The struggle for Palestine is not an isolated struggle. It is the struggle of every oppressed people throughout time, from the Congo to the Caribbean, from Jamaica to Jerusalem. Aimé Césaire taught us that colonization dehumanizes both the colonizer and the colonized. Palestine today is a living testament to that truth. The colonizer clings to power, justifying violence and land theft, while the colonized are dispossessed, their very existence seen as inconvenience. But Césaire also reminded us that resistance is the answer. Say it with me. Resistance is the answer. That the thing to be done is to set man free. We take solace from the words of the late great Toni Morrison, who said, "The function of freedom is to free someone else." You stand here today as free as it gets, This is as free as it gets, people. We have our own struggles, but make no mistake, this freedom that we have here is not the freedom to consume. It is not the freedom to be complacent. It is the freedom to liberate. Do not squander it. So today we stand united and we say to Palestine, freedom is coming. Say it with me. Freedom is coming. It's coming through boycotts. It's coming through divestment. And it's coming through sanctions. Say it with me. Boycotts, divest, sanctions. But this fight goes beyond the borders of Palestine, and never forget that. Marcus Garvey told us to never wait for others to give us our freedom. Freedom is always fought for. It is never handed to you. It is never handed to you. And as our very own freedoms are eroded, remember that it is now ours to reclaim. We've seen a limited arms embargo. It's the beginning. It's far from enough. Just as Patrice Lumumba declared that Africa will write its own history, Palestine will write its own history. Free from occupation, free from apartheid, and free from surveillance. From Ferguson to Gaza, from the streets of London to the refugee camps in the West Bank, we are all connected by one struggle. It's time to consolidate the ranks, people. I'm being tapped out, but Lumumba, Césaire, Garvey, they knew that no change comes without courage. I call on you today to find your courage. Dig deep. Say it with me. No justice. No justice. No justice. Power to the people. Free Palestine. Thank you.